Okay, so last week we continued our saga on covering the antics of JoJo Siwa, and if you're not familiar who JoJo Siwa is, JoJo Siwa made her fame by first appearing on the old TV show Dance Mums, and then JoJo Siwa quickly became a household name, amassing tons of fame, known for her very vibrant personality and signature style, usually accompanied by some oversized bows, and it's where she made her transition to YouTube, where her internet stardom skyrocketed and cemented her status as an internet sensation, and this allowed her to amass a fortune of millions before turning 20 years old. And now, as JoJo Siwa approaches adulthood, we see her attempts to ditch her childlike brand image and rebrand herself as a more mature entertainer. This has sparked considerable controversy as we see these growing pains take place, and her rebrand has seen her adopt behaviors which starkly contrast her old self, leading to a very polarized perception and raising many questions about how we perceive kids who have grown up in the industry and where that leaves their sanity. And on top of that, something that I want to get into, we see that JoJo Siwa has copied their merch from the famous band Tool. Now, if you're not aware who Tool is, they're this cool band. I was very surprised to see this crossover happen, but we'll get into that later. So without further ado, let's just jump into JoJo Siwa's TikTok and see what's going on. So now we see these amazing dance moves, which again, I would definitely not be able to do. So I'm not even going to attempt to critique it. All I know is that JoJo Siwa has been trained for this their whole lives and has far more experience than I do for me to basically be shutting this down. So if you would want to learn how to do this dance move, then fear not, because JoJo Siwa has uploaded a tutorial, funnily enough, so perhaps I will learn some dancing skills and will be taking the stage by storm sometime soon. All of this is as promotion for JoJo Siwa's new single called Guilty Pleasure, where a new music video has been released, so I'm sure we'll get into that later as well. But on the run-up to this new single, JoJo Siwa has gone completely ham on the promotional aspect of it all, and really pulled no stops in promoting this song in every single TikTok that she has posted. Guilty Pleasure coming out on July 12th. I'm so excited! First of all, that's a lot of shouting. I can hear the grazing in the vocal cords. You might want to preserve your voice for the upcoming tour, JoJo, but that's just a suggestion, just a minor suggestion. You can see JoJo Siwa was very excited for the upcoming EP and the upcoming singles. I'm sure there will be no controversy ahead.
Balance, baby! All coming out! Mail Lover! There's a music video for Guilty Pleasure all on July 12th. I am so happy.
So there you go, July 12th. It was built up to be a massive day for JoJo Siwa. So let's see the run-up to this esteemed date. Yo, what is up, guys? If you're enjoying this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the support as of late. I really do appreciate it. But enough yapping. Let's get right back into the video, shall we?
And what you wish for? You ready? Here we go. Let's do it. So you are gonna jump out. I'm your guilty. Snap it open. So I'm your guilty.
I wish I could even attempt this. But my hand-eye coordination is little to zero. So all I'm gonna do is just sit here and watch, and perhaps you might learn something too. So if you want to do some JoJo Siwa dance moves, I am very glad to be able to bring you this.
From here, you're gonna go head, shoulder, drop. So I'm your guilty. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna pick up your right arm and right leg, swipe it down, other side, swipe it down. That's the fun step.
I will say, JoJo's informative tone here has me believing that, you know, maybe I do have a chance at doing this. I will say JoJo Siwa has a very clear way of teaching dance, so I'm gonna have to give props to that, you know what I mean?
I'm your guilty. 1, 2, 3, swipe it down, swipe it down. From there, big old grandel jump, get those legs up in the air. Boom, you say boom, boom, from there, you're gonna go back, double back.
What I see here is a lot of energy, and definitely I will say, if you're going to critique JoJo Siwa's dance moves, you know, you got to first understand that dance isn't easy for the uninitiated. You know, you have to remember so many different things in tandem, in together, and then match it to the beat of the song. So I can only commend this.
So you say, I'm your guilty pleasure, swipe, bam, hey, I'm your guilty. You do double, you're gonna go round and jump, ronda shot. A ronda shot is basically sweep the floor with your right foot, sweep the floor with your left foot.
Gosh, there's so many technical terms. This is called a round the shot, round the shot, round the shot. And then you gotta come in. I'm not even gonna try.
Praying hands. Go shoulder, shoulder. From here, you're gonna smack yourself twice. 1, 2. Using my right hand. Don't hit yourself.
I was gonna say, don't go around smacking yourself. It's not a good look.
Don't hit yourself hard. I've done it too many times. Don't do it, trust the process. 1, 2, you're gonna go to the right first, you're gonna open up, then to left, open up. So you just said, boom, back, 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 ronde, smack, smack, open, open. You're gonna bring it all together.
I'm already lost. Wait, just to prove how hard this is, let me just do this off instant memory, and I'll show that retaining these dance moves in your mind is a little bit difficult. Okay, so let's see if I'm anywhere close. That's all I can remember. So the fact that JoJo Siwa can pull this off on stage and choreograph other people and teach it, you know, that's a worthwhile skill. And I love seeing this behind the scenes sort of stuff, especially in the industry and all that jazz. And I applaud the fact that JoJo Siwa is willing to try and teach people. I feel like this is the side of JoJo Siwa that a lot of people don't really see, and what JoJo Siwa's fans probably want to see.
Run, 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 out. From here, you're gonna go. 1, you're gonna step a left.
There's so many things to remember. I don't even know if you guys understand how difficult this is. There's so many things. And it's for like such a short amount of time, but there's so many moves.
From here, you're gonna go to the left and bend down, to the right, bend down.
Oh, it carries on. It keeps going. It keeps going. I challenge anyone to do this. I challenge anyone to just try this out.
Double up. So you're going left, right, double up. Boom. You do ronde, run, run, run. Come and right, left, up, and left, and hey, hey.
I see all the time people critiquing JoJo's like, oh, this dance move or whatever. But before you try to critique the amount of effort that goes into choreographing something like this, just give it a go. Just give it a go and then upload your results.
I'm your guilt, I'm your guilt, I'm your pray that ish out, head down.
I'm so lost. I am so lost.
Kicking while your hand is flicking. Kick, kick, all the way till 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so let me count every single move that I see. Let's just see how complex this really is. Okay, so I counted like over 27 moves, and I'm not even going to try and attempt that. But yeah, well done, JoJo, and I'm sure that's very informative for people who can actually dance. Unlike me, again, zero hand-eye coordination. I would never be able to do anything like this. Coming up next, we have JoJo Siwa with some explanations about her new tattoos, which are linked to her new EP release. So let's just take a look and get an explanation.
Figured now would be a good time to explain this tattoo that I got. So long story short, the Guilty Pleasure music video has these 4 different worlds, right? It has Zoltar, teddy bear, construction, and of course...
We love the world building. We love the world building. The world building I can admire. I have seen the video, and I will say I was pondering upon like, oh, what does this even mean? Like, how are these scenes connected? And then at the end, it shows all of these scenes in a guilty pleasure house.
Sure. I pulled the costume so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. We got the teddy bear costume, right? And so therefore, that's what the teddy bear on this tattoo represents. And then what happened on my 21st birthday is I wore this construction vest and this...
So this looks all fine. This looks all, you know, in tandem. It looks like, oh, you know, well done, JoJo Siwa, for the branding. You know, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. What's wrong with this? You know, I pose the question to you. What is wrong with this? Well, we'll find out in a second, because when I looked in the comments for this thing, expecting, you know, not really much criticism, I stumbled upon something that really perked my ear up.
This became a massive thing that people talked about, which some may call a guilty pleasure. That is why there is the construction world in the music video, and that's why this little teddy bear's got a construction vest on. Next, the teddy bear's got some goggles on. These are the goggles it's inspired by. These are goggles I wear in the Zoltar inspired booth, the ticket booth. Last but certainly not least,
I'll also commend the costume design. I like the wings, it looks pretty cool. Also, nice studio as well. Yeah, what's wrong with this? What is wrong with this?
So basically, this massive tattoo that I got is completely inspired by my new music video, Guilty Pleasure. Comes out on July 12th at midnight if you are on the East Coast. Comes out July 11th, 9 o'clock p.m. if you are on the West Coast. Anyways, that's the me.
Okay, just a little innocent bit of world building. Let's just take to the comments and see what the public are saying. And this is where I started to get a little bit confused because I'm like, why are these guys here? Tool fans, where are you? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And we have, what's your favourite Tool album? Do you prefer Maynard's work with a perfect circle? And here we have someone saying, I hope Tool sues your ass. And I'm just getting a little bit confused. I'm like, wait, how are JoJo Siwa and Tool connected? And I didn't see any mention of Tool in that TikTok video. What's going on? So of course, I took to Google and I found this article. Uploaded on July 12th, the same date as JoJo Siwa's music video release. Tool fans are outraged over JoJo Siwa's new merch. And as we see here, clear as day, just a direct rip-off of Tool's logo. Former child star JoJo Siwa has spent this year infuriating various segments of society. In April, she riled up many fans with the laughable suggestion in a Billboard interview that she was creating a new genre, gay pop, which necessitated some damage control. She caught flack from Kiss fans for her stage makeup that clearly resembled the rock band's iconic look, though Gene Simmons said she looked cool. Now she's angered the Tool fans too. Now, I actually saw Tool a few months ago, actually, and I will say they were amazing live, so good, and this synchronicity was mind-blowing to me. I can't believe that I'm covering this. It really is a shock to the system. A TikTok photo dump last week promoting JoJo Siwa's new single, Guilty Pleasure, included an image of a construction worker vest with the name JoJo printed onto the wrench. This week, it came to the attention of the Tool fanbase, who noted that it looks remarkably like the phallic wrench logo seen on the cover of Tool's 1991 demo EP, 72826, as well as the t-shirt that is still available on their shop. It was designed by Cam DeLeon, who later took the band to court over his composition for a range of design work. Tool won the lawsuit in 2015. Looking at the two images side by side above, yeah, pretty damn similar. We're gonna have to render a verdict. Of all guilty, no pleasure. And I will say, the evidence there is pretty damning. And this is the problem that I was sort of touching on last week's video, where I was saying, you know, the people around JoJo Siwa, yeah, it might be JoJo's final decision to release this merch or use this design, but the people around her can still influence suggestions and pose design ideas that aren't completely original and may detract from the brand that JoJo's trying to build. And I'm sure JoJo is all for being unique, but doing stuff like this, which is, you know, it's undoubtedly a cool logo. That's probably why the designer of JoJo Siwa's merch picked it. But to completely steal it, and I'm sure JoJo Siwa has no idea who Tool is, unless she does. But I really doubt it. I really think this is someone who is either above her or below her in the sort of merch design department. And yeah, this is just really unfortunate. And apparently, Tool fans aren't that forgiving, and we see that they're already starting to come for JoJo Siwa. Although, for some reason, I sincerely doubt that we'll get any public statement from the lead singer of Tool or anything like that. I feel like this kind of thing is probably beneath them, and they probably don't care about what JoJo Siwa's doing. I'm sure it'll be something that will be sorted out more under wraps and more behind the scenes. I don't know. I wonder if it will go to a lawsuit or something. But yeah, the evidence is pretty damning there. And I just hope JoJo Siwa has words with her merch design team, because stuff like this slipping through the cracks, it is, again, very unfortunate. But luckily, to take our mind off of all of that, we've got more tattoo explanations.
Currently on a road trip right now, but we are stopped at a stop, so I figured now would be a great time to answer this. I have 6 We're currently on a road trip right now, but we are stopped at a stop, so I figured now would be a great time to answer this. I have 6 tattoos now. Got this one on my left hand is my old logo with the date that Boomerang was released. My right hand, I got my new logo with the date that Karma was released. Then on my right forearm, I got my Karma Beast eyes. The back of my right forearm, I got 417 with a billion under it, and that is because Boomerang was the 417th video on YouTube to ever hit a billion views, so I got that in honor of that. Behind my ear here, I got 1,031. That's because that's how many days DREAM, the tour, my first concert tour, lasted. And then
A lot of tattoos. You know, once you got the money, I'm sure you could just splash out and get loads of tattoos. I wish I had that amount of money to get more and more and more tattoos that are unique and personalized to me. It is very nice to see JoJo Siwa create this world and like to use their imagination and to build on something and to take things that are meaningful to her and turn them into symbols and allow people to resonate with this world that JoJo Siwa is building. And again, I commend it. I commend it.
now this doesn't make sense right now, but it will eventually. It's a teddy bear wearing the construction vest, wearing the Zoltar glasses with the Angel of Darkness wings. This is after Guilty Pleasure, the new music video that comes out in a week. Get ready.
And all of this hype still being built for the Guilty Pleasure music video, I will say JoJo Siwa is very proficient at marketing herself and doing things that do garner attention. And again, like we discovered in our previous video, we understand that JoJo Siwa feels like this is all they know. And, you know, it seems like if these are the results that you want to get and you want the numbers and you want the attention and you want this brand image to be built and curated, then JoJo Siwa has gone down the path to be able to do that.
I'm your guilty pleasure.
Costume design on point, but whoever designed that merch and stole from Tool, oh, I do worry about what's going to happen there. So let's take a look at the fateful day where this Tool construction merch actually made its debut, because I was watching this and I thought, this is a very interesting way to spend your time at Disneyland.
My first drink. No, I've had a Sunny D vodka. My first drink's in Italy. That's amazing.
Happy birthday!
So as we can see here, the team is quite extensive, you know, I'm not sure which one to pin the blame on for the stolen merch ideas. Again, it seems like JoJo Siwa is really taking this as a way to show that she's moved on from the kid brand and stuff, and now she's drinking alcohol at Disneyland, which is quite confusing, but we'll continue.
Happy birthday, girl!
I'm JoJo. This is my second drink in America. Woo! I'm JoJo. This is my second country, but my 5th drink of the day.
I wonder if the wrench symbol is on the back of that specific construction top that JoJo's wearing there, or I wonder if it was sort of an afterthought that happened after this event. I do assume that they are all friends of JoJo, but if this is an insight as to maybe the size of JoJo's management team or the people that manage JoJo's different departments that she would need managing at that size, of being that size an artist, I would like to perhaps get some more transparency, and I wonder if this situation with the Tool logo will cause JoJo Siwa to be a little bit more transparent about who runs the design team of her merchandise.
I'm JoJo Siwa, and this is my 8th and 9th drink. We're in China! It's my 9th drink.
I did not know that alcohol was this accessible at Disneyland. That's something new that I've learned. And there we go, the signature dance move, and it is so interesting because the drinking age over here is like 18 and the drinking age over there is like 21. So seeing this, you know, I guess, you know, you kind of want to go all out if it's your 21st birthday and you're finally allowed to legally drink. But doing it in Disneyland? Again, my mind is just like, like if you don't want people to see you as this like child star, you know, making their transition into adult entertainment or whatever, then why are you doing this at Disneyland? Why?
I'm JoJo Siwa, and this is my 10th drink inside Epcot. That's good. Number
Too many.
12, 11. Tyler, is this 11 or 12?
With you, who knows?
Siwa, and this is my at least 13th drink.
Margarita?
That's nice. I'm JoJo Siwa, and this is my 14th.
That's a lot of drinks, and I assume a lot of money. Again, this isn't the kind of example that you want to be setting for your young fans, even if it is your 21st birthday. You know, it's going a bit overboard here.
All of my babysitters are fired. Let me get a 14 drink of me tequila.
You don't need to do nothing.
I like her. My 13th drink in Epcot. We're in Mexico.
A tequila shot in a wine glass. Oh wow, yeah, no, the babysitters aren't doing a good job.
That's a cracking effort.
Whoa. Get in the drop. I'm JoJo Siwa. This is number 15 in Epcot.
Smash it.
Whoa. Number 15 is amazing. I could pull it together if I needed to. I'm JoJo, and I forgot to do it, but this is my 15th drink, baby. I'm JoJo Siwa. This is my second drink. We're in Italy, France. French press up against my chest, oh wee wee. I'm JoJo Siwa, and this is my 17th and 18th drink in Epcot.
I really don't know what to say. This is more than I could handle drinking for sure. I mean, to be fair, they are like just a few sips. We haven't seen like these drinks actually being sunken, but you know, I can only imagine that. Yeah, I don't know if JoJo's putting any of this on, but it is a very odd location to choose. I will reiterate that point. I don't think I'd be able to do this in Disneyland, surrounded by a bunch of kids who are at Disneyland.
That's amazing. That's scary. I like them both. You can take this one. Aussie, then they would scream, wait. Should we try it? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Aussie!
Okay, we got one.
No. We're changing you. No. I'm JoJo Siwa. This is number 19. Can I have a bite of that?
Yeah, you can have it.
Just a bite.
You want the rest? No? Good game.
And there we have it, JoJo Siwa's 21st birthday celebrations, featuring the construction work top to promote her new single. And another video that features this construction work top is an interview that JoJo Siwa has done following the release of the Guilty Pleasure music video. Let's take an in-depth look at JoJo Siwa reflecting on her journey to what has got her here.
That the world right now is watching every move I make with the most critical eye. And I think something that I'm really grateful for is I don't give
As much as JoJo Siwa reiterates that she doesn't give an F and all that kind of stuff, I will say that must not be easy to feel that way, to feel like the whole world is watching you with that kind of critical eye, as she said. And I have no idea what kind of effect that would have on someone's psyche. To see this path and to see what JoJo Siwa is going down and how breakneck speed it is, I'll just reiterate that perhaps JoJo Siwa should take some caution and some measures to make sure that she is surrounded by the best people and not surrounded by people that are gonna enable certain destructive behaviors, because at the end of the day, the industry still makes a profit out of that story as well.
be looking back at some of the moments that have shaped my career and my identity. This is Becoming JoJo Siwa. 9 years old, my first TV show, I was a peanut. It like makes me emotional. You don't even know what you got yourself into there. Now you're stuck, kid. It's interesting because I didn't really realize that I didn't have a normal childhood until my childhood was over, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah, that's insane. It's like I remember being 9 years old and looking at everyone on the TV and thinking that if you could make it on the TV and you had a chance in anything, like any sort of child game show or all that kind of stuff, it felt like, oh, you'd be rich, you'd be set up, and like it was sort of made out to be that fame was the answer to everything. And then I guess living it as a kid, it must be a completely different world.
kids are so naive. You don't really know what's happening. And I think at the like very end of my childhood, so like 16, 17, I was like, wait a second. This is what high school was like for you? What? That's not what high school was like for me. I feel like it really shaped me to be who I am. I don't wish it was any different. I realized that there was stuff that I missed out on or stuff that I didn't get to do or stuff that was different for me, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
She deserves to be on the pyramid. She was in the group dance.
She deserves nothing. Oh yeah, I love this clip.
I didn't have an inkling as to the harshness that these children were submitted to on this show Dance Moms. That is horrible. Just from that like 2-second clip to see that's the way JoJo Siwa was spoken to, that must have been scarring. To even be in the presence of someone, like they might not be talking to you, but to have someone like say, you deserve nothing, and to scream it as like an adult, that must like ingrain itself within you, and for it to be documented and played millions of times. Wow, I just feel sorry for JoJo at this point.
Because I feel like people see Dance Moms, right? And they're like, oh, Abby's such a mean dance teacher. Abby's just a realistic dance teacher. She is representation of a lot of dance teachers in the world. It's the competitive dance world especially is not the healthiest environment. And I always say you're either a good dancer or you're healthy. You can't be both. That's sad. It shouldn't be like that. And there's a lot of teachers that aren't like that. But growing up, I mean, Abby was, believe it or not my toughest, hardest dance teacher. I mean, I came in.
That almost sounds to me like slight denial in a sense, because to anyone outside of the entertainment industry growing up, like that just seems horrible. And I feel like that kind of attitude or that demeanor taken against children just shouldn't be normalized in any kind of sense. I don't even think that teachers in schools should be able to talk to kids in that kind of manner. And for JoJo Siwa to believe like that's kind of normalized and like all dance teachers are kind of like that, I think that might be a systemic problem with dance teachers as a whole, not something that JoJo Siwa should have been subjected to because it's normal.
Being a fan of Abby, I knew what I was getting myself into, and I was like, please yell at me. Like, I kind of liked it. Even like...
And that's just another sad statement to like have to rewire or change that in your brain when you could visibly see that JoJo was upset in that clip, and to have to like basically redesign what happened in your past to move forward with these types of people. I just think that's a horrible situation for JoJo Siwa to have been put in.
It's cool to me that Boomerang is still as successful as it was when it came out, if not more successful. I mean, the fact that it grows so much a day, it's truly that like haters are gonna hate. They can keep talking that talk, but I'm gonna keep watching.
It seems evident to me that JoJo Siwa keeps defaulting to the phrase that like haters gonna hate. Oh, F the haters. I don't care what the haters say. But at the same time, brushing off any critique of how she was treated in her past or how the industry has molded her, and she's had to rework it as only a good thing in her mind to again continue making the moves that she makes. And I'm kind of scared that all of this pressure is going to build up into something where we'll see JoJo Siwa break and then have to put the pieces back together herself, because it's clear that she has a team around her that doesn't really have her best interests at heart and is willing to even release merchandise that is completely stolen from another band. And I wonder what other things have sort of slipped through the cracks in a sense of dodgy management.
Honestly, right after I came out, getting the ask to be a part of Dancing with the Stars was massive. Getting to be the first same-sex couple, I don't think I at the time necessarily realized what that was going to do for the world or the impact that that was going to have, but it truly was. It was one of the first times that
I'm sure we've seen same-sex dancers before JoJo Siwa, like to be like, oh, I didn't know what that would do for the world. I mean, I'm sure it is amazing and very difficult to dance like that, but perhaps it did have a crazy impact on the world. Let me know if you were impacted by this feature.
the world as a whole actually really appreciated me on social media, I guess is a good way to put it. I mean, the world saw me daily on social media, but with Dancing with the Stars, it was kind of a flip. People were tuning in weekly to see what Jenna and I were gonna do.
It is very interesting that JoJo Siwa keeps emphasizing that it's the world that is looking at me and the world is being very critiqueful of what I'm doing and all this kind of stuff. And it must be a very intense mind state to operate in when you feel like the whole world is looking at you under a magnifying glass, when, like, I wouldn't say that's particularly true in the sense where it's the whole world. It's probably a large amount of population from each place, but to continuously think it's the whole world against me, I can only imagine what that would end up doing to JoJo Siwa's psychological health. And perhaps someone needs to sit JoJo Siwa down and be like, it's okay. It's not everyone. It's just, your demographic and the people that we're marketing to.
I love Karma so much, but it's so bad compared to my new stuff. I hate now that I shade Karma so much.
And that's only natural for artists to sort of look at their previous works with a bit more disdain, but I will say this. I've had Karma stuck in my head ever since I made that first JoJo Siwa video. I won't lie, whoever wrote it or whatever, it's just been a complete earworm and it's just been stuck in my head and I want it out. I want it out now. But yeah, it is a well-written song, but it is very normal for artists to look back on previous works with slight disdain over time, but then eventually you look back on your previous works like JoJo looks back on Boomerang with, a bit more optimism. And I can only guess that eventually JoJo Siwa will look at Karma in a few years with that same optimistic outlook.
Looking back and comparing it to Guilty Pleasure, comparing it to Choose Your Fighter, it's not even on the same playing field. We knew back in the day that visually, people liked my bows, people liked my crazy outfits, people liked when I danced, they liked when I performed, they liked my music videos, they liked my stories, they liked that. And so we didn't know if that was going to translate into an adult world. But then if you look at what was successful about Karma, it was the dance from the music video, the makeup and costume from the music video. I mean, even like the me coming out of the water in the music video, like those moments from the music video are what hit. And so it was really tried and true to me that no, I really am visual and people really do crave visuals from me as an entertainer, as an artist. And so here I am to keep providing them.
That's very interesting to get a more professional insight into how JoJo Siwa conducts themselves as a brand now. And I will say that's true. I only know JoJo Siwa for the dance moves and for the crazy looks and all this kind of stuff, and to see that JoJo Siwa understands that, it's probably a positive thing. Lean into your talents, lean into what you're good at, and clearly JoJo Siwa is a talented dancer. I think where many people's gripes, it comes from doing things that don't seem natural to JoJo Siwa, or doing things that seem pre-packaged, or doing things that seem like they're curated by upper management and not directly coming from JoJo Siwa herself, like certain packaged songs or like certain things like the Tool merchandise. And I assume that there have been a bunch of other things that haven't been completely up to JoJo Siwa. I feel like we'll get her best work when she realizes that people just want to resonate with the person that they're listening to. They don't want it to seem like an alien or something. They want someone that they can relate to.
Paul back in the day used to do this thing, and he taught me this. He would run with whatever was working, and that's with Karma, what was working. All of a sudden, the teasers were working, so I was like, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna keep teasing, right? Oh, me being a lunatic is working. I'm gonna keep being a lunatic, but be even crazier. Oh, the makeup's working. Let's do more with the makeup. Oh, the dance is working. Let's do the dance more.
Oh, that's a very dangerous path to go down, to just be like, oh, this is working, so let's just keep doing this, or this is doing this, let's just keep doing this, or like, people think I'm a loony, let's just keep being a lunatic. That kind of path, I understand where, you might release teasers and then the teasers do well and you want to just keep doing that formula because it works, but when you let the audience dictate your personality and dictate how you behave, I think that's a very dangerous path, because you don't want to lose yourself, and then you also want to retain your sanity, and to have the audience dictate whether you act like a lunatic or not seems a bit off to me.
And so for me, it was really important to kind of follow what was working, but then also not let the world decide what worked at the same time, making sure that I'm giving the world what I want them to want, if that makes sense. It's less about having a hit song, but more about having a hit career, giving people something to look at, turn their head at.
It's always the world. It's always the world. I feel like JoJo has a core audience or a core fan base or a core support group or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like if JoJo Siwa narrowed down on that and narrowed down on her core, fan base instead of trying to exuberant themselves to the world. I feel like we might see a much more healthy path and a healthy outlook from JoJo Siwa, where she isn't so preoccupied as to what the world or the earth as a whole is thinking, and more so what her core audience and fan base, you know, want and love her for.
I know, considering I only got basically one vocal cord instead of two, that I don't have the vocal chops to just be able to stand there and sing, but I know that I can put on a show and entertain and do a little bit more. He did the damn thing. Oh, this new EP, get ready. There is so many whack visions that I had to fight to make come to life, but I made them happen, and I am so happy. I think that the world right now is watching every move I make with the most critical eye. And I think something that I'm really grateful for is I don't give a
The world is watching me. The world is watching me. At this point, I do feel sort of sorry for JoJo Siwa. It's like she's blissfully unaware of how that sort of mind state and that impending nature of thinking that the world is either for you or against you, or this is what the world wants, this is what the world needs, when it's really specifically her demographic that her team has marketed towards, and the fan base that she is specifically marketed towards, and the audience in different countries, you know, like a specific group of people in each country. It's not the world as a whole. And I think like this overarching word of the world that JoJo Siwa keeps using, I feel like it touches on something here that I'm definitely not qualified to examine, but it is interesting nonetheless.
fascinating to watch us dance together. Me and Madison have great chemistry. Me and Diego have great chemistry. But watching me with a boy for the first time, and I think that's what it was, is like for a boy for the first time, we were like, that oddly looks really flattering. That's very strange. And we also got to see me in the girl's position for the first time, because normally if I'm partnering with a girl, I am the boy in the position. So it's...
Dance with whoever you want, JoJo Siwa. You know, that's all I'll say. Just dance with whoever you want, and I'm sure you'll keep producing lovely content for us to consume and talk about. So I want to give praise and adoration to JoJo Siwa for doing what JoJo Siwa does, so I can do what I do, because, you know, this keeps the lights on for me. So I'm very thankful for that. And again, I can't shoot the dance or the choreography, but I can only offer advice when it comes to certain things within the music industry, because that's what I have some experience and expertise in. But when it comes to the choreography and the dancing and that type of vibe, I'm like, you know, I'm in awe because I know that I cannot do it. So keep going, JoJo Siwa, and again, dance with whoever your soul desires.
And then there's an ad-lib that says, "You're welcome." And it's a little whisper of "you're welcome." And that is my crypto.
Well, that was very interesting insight into the inner workings of JoJo Siwa's mind, and I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you all for spending your time watching this video. Thank you guys for the support recently. I really do appreciate it. And if you could do me one last favor, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.